What is going on, everybody? This is going to be another breakdown of a game from the Madden 17 Championship Tournament. This was a quarterfinal match between Boogz and Joke. Getting right into it, Boogz on offense, you see with the Lions, coming out single back tight slots. Now, if you've watched Boogz play in the past, you know he's a proficient offensive player, best known for his gun bunch offense, usually in it 100% of the time. So it's surprising to see him first play of the game against Joke, not in that gun bunch. Maybe he scripted some plays that he wants to run to start the game off to kind of get a feel for Joke's defense. But then you see Joke on defense with the Vikings in that nickel look, a look that's been popular all year, and this specific nickel look has gotten popular, or more popular, I should say, as the year kind of has progressed. You see the shift of the linebackers to the opposite side of the nickel back, putting this linebacker on the outside edge right here, giving the look of, potential pressure off either edge, whether it be that nickel back or whether it be the linebacker. You have guys who run this defense to kind of disguise their pressure as to which side it could be coming from, and then you have guys that run this look, such as Mills comes to mind, who basically sends six almost every down, runs nickel blitz almost every play, and sends six. But you have this look, it could be nickel blitz, it could be buck slant, it could be, the corner blitz 3. Usually those are the three popular blitzes out of this look, so it'll be interesting to see how Joke runs this setup and mixes up his play calling. So first play of the game, let's see what Boogz wants to do. Single back tight slots. HB dive looks like Joke with the instant block shed, and Boogz loses 2. So second and 12 here. Boogz gun bunch, buddy audibles to gun Y trips. Looks like Y trips offset. So 3 receivers to the right. Joke sending 6 and gets the sack. So it looks like Joke's going to come out and start the game with a more aggressive variant of this look, sending 6. It looks like that was definitely nickel blitz 2 right there, and Boogz not ready for all the pressure and gets sacked. So third and 20, gun bunch left. Looks like Boogz going to stay in gun bunch this time. Joke sending 6 again. So let's see. It looks like pre-snap, something to notice that a lot of people will do out of this look is that they'll bring their safety super far up. And so right here, it puts them in a better position, puts them in the box, better run support, as well as the main reason I think is because it puts them in a better position to play those seam routes down the middle of the field, those high point routes, those cover 2 busters, the inside pass lead seam routes. And so if I'm Boogz, third and 20, and Joke has a guy right there, I'm assuming it has a safety that far in the box. I'm assuming that it's probably not cover 2, because I don't think Joke in a third and 20 situation would give Boogz the ability against the cover 2 look to just have this Chad Johnson receiver right here just run a fade route down the sideline and get a big completion and a first down the sideline. I think Joke's a lot smarter than that. So based off this pre-snap look, if I'm Boogz, I'm not expecting cover 2. I'm expecting probably a cover 3 shell, maybe a blitz off one of the wide corners, maybe a buck slant blitz off that nickel blitz, or the nickel cornerback rather. So let's see what Joke wants to drop into here. Gun bunch, I wouldn't be surprised if Boogz blocks 7. He does. And it looks like Joke actually coming out running cover 4 here. So you see 1 deep, 2 deep, 3 deep, 4 deep, and it looks like Joke is relying on his user to take away anything over the middle of the field here. So Boogz blocking 7, but it still looks like the blitz definitely going to come in. Actually comes in from both sides, but Boogz makes the good read and gets the ball out on the slant. So good read right there by Boogz. Good defense by Joke. He was obviously comfortable giving up a few yards, still putting Boogz in a 4th and medium situation. I think it's 4th and 9. So let's see. So just from the first 3 downs, you've seen Joke sending 6 pretty much every down. First down, Boogz ran the ball, so it's hard to tell. But second and third down, Joke sent 6. Second down went nickel blitz. Third down went cover 4. So let's see what he wants to do on 4th down. If I'm Boogz, I'm expecting heavy pressure. I'm expecting a Joke to send 6 again. So you need to have something quick in an area of the field that you think will be open. So, and Boogz just blocked 7 and still didn't pick it up. So you don't know how comfortable Boogz is feeling with his ability to pick up the pressure. So once again, send 6, pressure still comes in. Boogz forces a deep corner route right there. So it looks like Boogz went with a makeshift bench type of concept. He went with, he's got a deep corner right here, and then he motioned this receiver open and snapped it as he got set, which puts him on a delay. So he's going to have the delay out route. So he's still creating that, high-low stretch of that flat zone defender, but In this case, the flat zone defender dropped back to play the corner route. Boogz would have had to hit the underneath out route, but 4th and 9 maybe doesn't feel comfortable. I think that probably would have been his best read. Just hit the out route and hope that either you make a defender miss or that you fall forward and fight for that first down. It looks like he also had a backside in route right here that Joke did a good job of using. Maybe he might have been able to sneak it by Joke with like a high point that Joke wasn't expecting, but instead it looked like Boogz kind of tunneled on this route that was double covered, sandwiched from each side, and Harrison would have had to make a circus catch to hold on to that. And Joke gets a crucial turnover on downs. Boogz goes 4 and out. So let's see what Joke's got on his first drive of the game. Looks like gun tight flex, probably going to be the Tennessee Titans playbook. This is a formation that's gotten popular as the year has gone on. You see Mo running it in this tournament. I believe Los also ran it in this tournament. Tennessee Titans playbook, very good playbook. You get the gun tight flex, you get the gun bunch, you get the gun trips tight end, you get single back deuce close. It's a very versatile and good. I'd say it's probably the best playbook in the game in my opinion. So let's see what kind of offense Joke looks to run. First down, HB draw, probably just feeling out what kind of pressure Boogz wants to send. You see Boogz running the same exact nickel look on defense as Joke was. It's the nickel with the linebacker shift to the opposite side of the nickel back. Boogz runs it more, I think, to disguise which side his pressure's coming from, whereas it looks like Joke's running it as the more aggressive send 6 every down type of look. Right there, corner strike, table route out the backfield. Looks like Boogz sent the bleacher blitz from the cornerback off the right edge, and Joke makes the good read. Just with the corner route and the table route out the backfield, read which one the flat zone doesn't cover. Right here, Boogz only looks like has a cloud flat to cover the C route, and Joke hits the table route out the backfield. You need either double flats out there, hard flat, cloud flat, or you need a cloud flat and you need to man somebody up on the running back. So we'll see how Boogz adjusts to that route combo as the game goes on. Right here, 3rd and 1. Goes down, eye big, HB stretch, picks up the first down, picks up 7 right there for Joke. So, and he goes no huddle. So he liked what he saw maybe out of Boogz' run defense, thinks it's kind of soft maybe. Goes power O this time, and Boogz makes a good user play, fills in the gap, and Dorsett picks up 1. So 2nd and goal from the 7. You got a lot of options here if you're Joke. You got several different high points, especially out of this gun bunch formation. What you'll see a lot of time is either 1 or 2 plays are really popular in the red zone out of this gun bunch. It's either verticals, in which case they will usually motion out this Chad Johnson receiver and have him run a wheel route. And then you get the wheel route right here from the tight end and then the crossing route over the middle. You got 3 high point options. Right here, if I'm Boogz, I'm probably not expecting that play because usually they want to hit this wheel route in the corner of the end zone. But Joke having Chad Johnson in that spot, normally you would see Randy Moss if that was the play you want to go to. Chad Johnson's not exactly the ideal high point receiver. So if I'm Joke, or if I'm Boogz rather, I'm not expecting that. I'd probably be expecting the other play that a lot of people run. Or you could also be looking at a potential HB draw. If you're Boogz, you know the Tennessee Titans playbook. Gun bunch doesn't have the HB base, so really the only run you have to worry about is the HB draw. But something I could see Joke doing right here is popular plays. They run corner strike, and you get the table route, C route combo on the left side. And then what they'll do is you'll have the flat route right here. You'll still have this deep dig over the middle for a high point potentially. And then they'll motion in this Chad Johnson receiver 1 step and then snap him, and he runs a corner. It's like a delayed corner route. And that corner route gets to a tender part of the field. A lot of times they have to user it. And so that opens up potentially the high point dig over the middle. So we'll see what Boogz wants to do on defense here. It looks like that's exactly what Joke goes to on offense. You see all the routes. Right here, he actually mixes it up. Doesn't do the corner route. So this is a mix-up I've seen some people start doing, is that people are expecting this B receiver to run a corner route. So in this case, Boogz actually stayed disciplined and is still over the middle of the field. But a lot of people will shoot out to right here, anticipating the corner route, and then this B route will just break underneath and be wide open. So it's like an adaptation to the meta and what's being expected from that receiver. Boogz actually does a good job staying disciplined over the middle. Joke goes with the playmaker back across the field, and Boogz still able to make a play. So let's see what Joke wants to do right here. You see the motion out. See right here, he's got Randy Moss. So you might be expecting that wheel route, but he checks into wide trip, goes inside zone, and it looks like Dorsett going to only pick up 1 or 2 yards. And Joke probably going to have to take a field goal here. So after each player's first 2 possessions, It's a 3-0 ball game. Joke gets the 4 and out from Boogz on offense, and then Joke kind of stalls inside the 5 there and ends up taking his 3. So we'll see how the game progresses as it goes on. All right, so fast forwarding a little bit here. Early in the second quarter, Joke's still up 3-0. Boogz driving, though, at Joke's 28, 3rd and 5. So let's see how this unfolds. Looks like Boogz has gone back to his gun bunch offense that he kind of strayed away from a little bit on that first drive where he did go 4 and out. Joke's still in a nickel look defensively, but looks like he shifted away from the double pressure look off both edges, now pinching his linebackers. Maybe he thinks that look will give him a little more success against what Boogz wants to do at a gun bunch. We shall see, but 3rd and 5 right here. Something to notice, look how far Joke is still bringing that safety up into the box, so it's still showing that he's looking to play a very aggressive style of nickel defense right here. Boogz going out to wide trips. I believe the last time he was in this formation, he tried to run some vertical routes, and that's exactly what he does again, and it looks like this time Joke, last time in this situation, Joke came out, brought that safety so far up. He was in a cover 4. That was on 3rd and 20. This time, 3rd and 5, Joke instead plays the down and distance, goes with the same look pre-snap, but post-snap, it's not a cover 4, it's a cover 2. Maybe he thought Boogz would think it was going to be a cover 4 or a cover 3 and that he wouldn't fade that guy down the sideline. Boogz does anyway and makes Joke pay for it because he brought that safety so far up. And because the safety also has to pay attention to the seam route running by the RB receiver down the middle of the field right there. Both of those factors end up making the safety not in a good position to make a play on that ball delivered to Chad Johnson down the sideline there, and Boogz makes it all the way down to, I believe, the 1-yard line. So at the 1 here, probably going to try and sneak it in a time or two. And it looks like that's exactly what happened. So Boogz sneaks it in and goes up 7-3 on Joke here. So here again, a little later, now Joke with the ball, his own 3rd and 9, 3rd and 14. Boogz still up 7-3. Joke out in this gun-tight flex formation. And what he had been hitting Boogz with almost the entire game was basically 2 concepts. He would run either PA post shot, in which case most of the time the way he would run it is he'd run double deep crossing routes, and that Randy Moss route is really the one you have to cover. Yeah, it's really, really difficult to defend without user covering it. Basically, the only way is to cross man, which Boogz didn't really seem like he wanted to do. But Joke would block 7, and then he'd have this in route on the backside as a check down and as a playmaker option. So this was the popular way he was running this play throughout the game. And then he would also mix it up by running some variation of bench. You know, sometimes he'd run it stock with the out routes and the deep out, or the deep corner routes rather. Or then sometimes he would run it out of the double spot play, which had not as deep corner routes, but it's much better for the route combo where you put the outside receivers on the flats and then they run the corners, and those corner routes get into a nice tender spot behind the flat routes. And that's kind of how he was approaching Boogz on the offensive side. 3rd and 14 right here. The play action immediately gives away, okay, this is probably PA post shot. You could see the routes developing. You see that Y route from Randy Moss. That's the hard route to defend. It looks like Joke once again blocked 7, but did mix it up a little bit. It looks like he put a hitch route on the backside, and then he's got the weak side crossing route, which he normally puts into a shallow in route. He left that weak side deep crossing route. So rolling left, Boogz with the pressure off the right edge, and Joke makes a very questionable read right here. It looks like if we roll it from the snap, Boogz sent the blitz from the far right corner. So basically the bleacher blitz sends 5, but it looks like an interesting cover shell. It looks like cover 2. So it might have been that cover 2 carry that Boogz was running, but it's a cover 2. You got flat route, or flat zone, and then it looks like he sent 5, so he's got 2 guys over the middle, 1 linebacker right there, and then he's using his linebacker right there. And so Joke, questionable read. I think he had to have tunneled. I mean, 3rd and 14, difficult to get this anyway. I think your reads right here have to either be you dump it down to the flat to the A receiver, you check it down to the X receiver, you could throw a low pass lead and possession catch it and at least make it a 4th and 7, 4th and 6 situation. Or you might even be able to squeeze in this Y route, the deep crossing route, if you throw a down and away pass lead over this middle defender's head, but then you'll be able to cut it off with that wide receiver in front of that deep safety. But he throws it to the one guy that's actually like completely blanketed, and it ends up being a bad throw anyway. Gets overthrown, and Boogz with the pick. So huge momentum swing right there for Boogz. Questionable read by Joke, and so Boogz takes over up 7-3. So we jump ahead here. Boogz up 7-3 still. 52 seconds left in the first half. Driving down the field at Joke's 41, trying to punch it in, get some points before halftime. 3rd and 13, difficult situation. So let's see how he wants to play it out. Gun bunch to the right, to the wide side of the field. Looks like he's going to motion Chad Johnson from right to left now. The route combo he had been running before with this motion was he would have a deep corner right here from Marvin Harrison, and then he'd put Chad Johnson on the delay out. He'd block 7, and he'd have a backside in route. Now, I don't know if he would want to go to this route combo since that kind of stretches to the left sideline here, and that's the short side of the field. Maybe if he was on the right hash, he might want to go to that. But if I'm Joke, I'm not really worried about this concept that I have drawn right here. I would be more worried about a different concept, maybe over the middle of the field, maybe a some type of PA post maybe. So you got Moss over the middle, maybe a slant right here, something like that. I'd be more on the lookout for here if I'm Joke. So Joke looks like still super aggressive. Send 6, blitz screaming. Boogz not going to have nearly enough time to get rid of the football there on 3rd and 13. And he's kind of in no man's land. It's a 58-yard field goal. His kicker probably can't kick it. So right here, 4th and 13, going for it. Joke still in the super aggressive dual edge nickel look right here. Boogz with the motion out to Chad Johnson. So if you're Boogz here, or if you're Joke here rather, I'm thinking that, you know, Boogz has been having a really hard time stopping this blitz. So I think Boogz is going to go ahead, try and block 7, get desperate here, and probably just send a streak. He might even send 3 streaks, or it might be 2 streaks and a wheel route up the sideline. It might be a cover 2 buster, and Boogz will just have to pray that he somehow picks up this blitz from Joke here. So post-snap, block 7, the blitz is screaming though. I can already see the blitz is going to scream, and yeah, he can't even get rid of the ball. So it looked like he sent 2 verticals on the right side and then had a post route on the left. So it was deep attack, but the blitz from Joke just too much for Boogz right there to handle, and he really needs to figure out how to pick up at least a little bit of that pressure to give him a little bit of time in the pocket. So right here, fast forward a little bit, a few plays, 34 seconds left in the first half, 3rd and 1, Joke on Boogz' 41. So Joke trying to get some points here before halftime. Only 1 timeout. He would love to score a touchdown, go up 3, but I think taking 3 and being down 1 at halftime isn't super bad here. So let's see how Joke tries to approach this. I wouldn't be surprised to see some type of bench concept here. And he runs the bench. Boogz does a good job defending the bench, but Joke has a backside shallow crosser. Good read right there from Joke, but the clock is running. Boogz is probably fine with that right now, knowing that Joke only has 1 timeout. Joke goes to a trips set to the right. Looks like 4 verticals here. Blocks 7, check and release on the left side, and squeezes it in. Looked like Boogz went. It looked like, okay, this looks like cover 6 right here, because it looks like cover 4 on the right side. So you got 2 quarter defenders on the right side playing the deep halves, or the deep quarters rather. But then on the left side, it looks like he's only got 1 safety here who's responsible for this left deep half of the field. Looks like this is definitely a flat zone based on the fact that he's not turning and running with that vertical X receiver. And Joke identifies this and squeezes it in to the cover 2 beater zone right there, right between the corner and the flat and the safety in the deep half on the sideline. So great identification of the zones by Joke there. And he actually had to call his timeout, so he didn't get out of bounds. So 8 seconds left at the 2, 1st and goal. This is a very sketchy situation here for Joke. I don't know how much I like that play call, and that's why. Like, I think right there, 8 seconds left. I think obviously most Madden players are going to take a shot and try to score a touchdown, but especially out of this formation and this motion, everybody knows what you want to do here. Everybody knows you want to throw that high point wheel route to Randy Moss. Like, Boogz is going to have 3 guys over there. So I think you have to go to something a little less conventional maybe. Go to like an I-form big PA power row where you have the post route and the corner route that you could smart route them and try and high point either one, whichever one Boogz doesn't use her, I guess. I would have liked that play call. I feel like it's a safer play call than something that's so telegraphed like this. And it looks like Joke ends up paying for it. Ball gets bounced around a little bit, and Dion ends up picking it off right before halftime. So instead of Joke possibly scoring and going up by 3, he ends up throwing a pick and goes into halftime down 4. So right here, Joke driving, still down 7-3. First possession of the second half at Boogz' 30. He's been driving really well out of this gun-tight flex formation, hitting a lot of routes underneath. Boogz been having a little trouble defending it. He's doing a good job defending the deep routes, but as you see right here, Boogz been doing this very well, identifying this play and using that deep crossing route by that Y receiver. But Joke rather, has been doing exactly what Joke's doing on this play. He's been doing a good job of checking it down underneath, forcing Boogz' user, knowing Boogz' user is going to the deep route, checks it down underneath right here. Another scenario where he does just that and picks up 6 or 7 yards with Chad Johnson underneath. So gun-tight flex once again, goes to gun bunch, and that's what's tough about this Tennessee Titans book. You can go from gun-tight flex to gun bunch to gun trips tight end. They all share the same personnel, and those are 3 really difficult formations to defend. Right there, looks like Boogz' user just over-pursues a little bit on the crossing route. Nice recognition by Joke, seeing that he over-pursued, couldn't recover in time, and hits the shallow crossing route. So first and goal here at the 7. Deuce close, you got to be thinking HB wham or HB stretch more than likely if you're Boogz. Primarily a running formation out of this deuce close. And those are the 2 best running plays. HB wham right up the middle picks up 6. It's a very tough play to stop. You basically have to kind of sell out for it, and then there's other things you have to worry about like the stretch, and then that formation also has pretty decent high points out of it. So tough formation in the red zone. Joke looked like he was pretty comfortable out of it right there. Maybe something he can go back to later in the game, but right there he punches it in with Tony Dorsett, goes up 10-7 on Boogz about halfway through the third quarter. So Boogz gets the ball back, down 3. Let's see if he can drive down the field and put up some points against Joke here. Gun bunch to the left, Joke still in that nickel look, blocking 7 for Boogz. Bench concept on the left, playmaker up the field, and Joke with the nice user underneath. Sketchy read right there by Boogz. I've seen this happen several times. They try to playmaker up the field. Joke, good recognition, looked like he was ready for it. He's underneath the route. This really has to be a high point, and it looks like Boogz actually does high point it right there. If you see the call out, high pass, it looks like this was just a bad throw because there's no way looking at it from this angle that was a high point. It looks like Chad Johnson would have caught it straight in stride, wouldn't have had to jump at all. So I take that back. I don't think it was a bad read by Boogz. I think he actually played this well, but looks like a bad throw by Matthew Stafford, and Joke's user was just in position to take advantage of the bad throw by Stafford. So unfortunate break right there from Boogz, but good play by Joke to be in position to take advantage of the fact that it was a bad throw. Now Joke with a lot of momentum, just gets the turnover up 10-7, goes PA, post shot out of this tight flex, seems to be his favorite play, runs it the way he normally runs it. Looks like Boogz just a little bit too far underneath on the user. He had been doing such a good job of staying with that route. Let's see, did Boogz get caught on a lineman? He did, so that's exactly what happens. He gets caught on a lineman, and he's not able to get back and user that deep crossing route that he had been relying on himself usering to take away. Joke identifies it, and the first time Boogz makes a mistake in defending that route, Joke sees it and takes advantage. And, I mean, that's the mark of a good player. As soon as you make a mistake, they make you pay for it. So, fantastic read right there by Joke. Unfortunate for Boogz getting caught on a lineman. So, have to be aware of that happening later in the game. Joke tries to scramble for the touchdown, gets hit, fumbles, and his lineman picks it up, and he walks into the end zone. So right here, he actually went to the play I suggested that he should have gone to before halftime when he threw the pick on the wheel route up the sideline. This is the PA power route. Now, he didn't hot route or smart route rather, the corner and post route. So they kind of took a long time to cut, and it almost became in routes. They were so far deep into the end zone. But apparently, Joke must not have been comfortable throwing either of those routes right here. So he takes off running. Boogz actually makes the beautiful user play to loop around and get a hit stick. Did everything right, and Joke's guy just picks it up and rumbles into the end zone. So unfortunate right there for Boogz. I'd say pretty unfortunate series of events from his interception and then that play right there. So, but good play by Joke to be in a position to take advantage of those types of things happening. So right here we've got 3rd and 10. Boogz still down 10. Gun bunch right at his own 21. Goes with the motion out. Looks like a lot of crossing routes here. And that's a dot. So this was I like this route combo. It's PA post, and it's kind of the typical way you see PA post run. You get the drag route underneath by the tight end. You have the C route. So it becomes the same flat / corner read on the left side. Looks like Joke had defended well. Looks like a hard flat potentially out there along with a cloud flat. So he was ready for that route combo on the right side of the field. But it looks like his user here kind of got stuck in no man's land. Basically had to choose one, either the deep post or the motion slant. Looks like he bit down on the slant. Boogz hit the post. Either way, if he would have played the post, Boogz would have just hit the slant. So about as well as you could play it from Joke's point of view right there, but even better play offensively by Boogz. So let's see what happens here as the drive progresses for Boogz. 1st and 10, and he's going to go ahead and get hit. Looks like not get anything there. 3rd and 7, looks like a flat route. So he needs to figure out a way to pick up some pressure, and Joke actually mixed it up right here. Sends the bleacher blitz off the left edge. Bleacher blitz actually comes in. Boogz with the read to the flat, picks up 4, makes it a 4th and 3, and that's pretty much what Boogz has to do until he can figure out how to stop this pressure. I mean, he really can't do anything else other than make quick throws to the flat. So if Joke is still can keep getting this type of pressure and just take away the flats, I don't know how Boogz moves the ball on him. Right there, clutch read by Boogz, and he fumbles. So I like the route combo again. It seems like Boogz having a little more success with route combos over the middle of the field now here in the second half against Joke's defense. Joke does a good job. I think Boogz should have hit this slant route right here. I think that's a much safer read. Boogz Joke using this route right here, and this A route still kind of muddy. I mean, it's open. Obviously, he threw it, he caught it, but there's still a lot of defenders in this area. I feel like that B route would have been a much safer throw. Still unlucky for Boogz. Completes it and then gets lit up by Harrison Smith and fumbles. So just not much you can do there when it comes to fumbling. Unlucky break for Boogz right there. So right here, 10 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. Joke still up by 10, 2nd and 10. Gun bunch to the left. And Joke pretty much just looking to drive down the field and ice this game away. So corner strike, playmaker, and literally it's a mirror of what happened earlier with Joke picking off Boogz, except this time, the first time, I think Boogz got unlucky because he did high point it and it was a bad throw by Stafford. This time, however, as you see from the call out, this was not a high point by Joke. This was a straight up bullet pass, and in this situation, you cannot bullet pass this because even though, yes, it looks like Boogz is very far underneath this route, these user defenders will be able to make up that ground and make a play on the ball if you don't high point it. Joke doesn't high point it, and Boogz underneath, especially with, out of position Sean Taylor, he's going to make that play every time. So great user play right there by Boogz, noticing the playmaker from from Joke, and questionable read by Joke. I don't mind the read, but the execution, I think you need to high point it in that situation. Right here, Boogz going to have one play before halftime. Goes with the motion over, still trying to get that route combo on the left side to work. It just hasn't really worked for him this game. And Joke gets the sack right there. So right here, we've got 3rd and 18 at about the 50-yard line, 49-yard line. 4th quarter just started. Boogz really needs a conversion here. He needs to get at least 3 points on this drive to pull it in within a one-possession game. Motion out. Joke been playing super aggressive on defense all game. If I'm Boogz, I'm expecting a 6-man rush, and you need to have a read that you think will be in a part of the field that you can throw it quickly and your receiver will be open. So let's see how Boogz wants to play this. He probably will block 7. So yeah, he blocks 7. That seems to be what he's going to, even though he's still having trouble picking up this pressure, as you see. Blocking 7, still screaming off the edge. That was more of a bleacher blitz look rather than a standard nickel blitz from Joke. It looks like Joke's got a nice little cover 3 shell here. So it was probably the corner blitz 3. And Boogz just makes the great read. He fumbled again, but Harrison rolls over and picks it up, it looked like. Yeah, so Harrison rolls over and picks it up. That was a great read by Boogz. Actually, a great play call having that post route. This had to be deep attack because that's the only play that has this post route. It's not the Z spot post. It's a much quicker breaking post. And against this cover 3 shell from Joke, there was no underneath defender to undercut that post route. So great read, great play call by Boogz. Unfortunate fumble again. That's his second or third fumble, I feel like. And but Harrison luckily picks it up for him. So makes it a 4th and 2 here. So clutch conversion. Boogz going for it, not opting to take the field goal to pull it within a 1-possession game. Going for it right here. If he doesn't get this, Joke has a really good shot at just icing this game. And he throws a dot over the middle. So this is the first time he's actually thrown a seam buster against this nickel blitz look from Joke. But he held it in his back pocket for the entire game, and it came up clutch for him right there. So prime position here to try and score and make it a 3-point game. If he can punch it in, goes with the high point, and Joke almost picks that off. That was very dangerous. I don't like that read very much. I think right here, you're at the 13. I don't think you have to go straight to a high point. I think you can still, run a draw, run a corner strike. You don't have to go straight to verticals. I'd like to see him run a draw here. And he goes corner strike, hits Tevin Coleman. So, yeah, that's all you need. He gets 7 yards right here. You read the flat defender. Joke doesn't have double flats on the left side. And look like a cloud flat. He hits Tevin Coleman on the table route. So 3rd and 3 at the 6. Now, you have a lot of plays at your disposal. You can go high point. You can go for the first down. You can run it here. So it looks like he's going to go with the corner strike setup. And he gets drilled again and fumbles and picks it up again. So, okay, so Boogz recovers the fumble. Let's look at the play here. So, looks like the corner strike setup. As soon as you see this motion, you should probably think corner strike in the red zone. It's going to be a table route. In this case, not enough room, really, to have this table route, C route combo be effective. So, what a lot of people do is they'll put this man on an in route coming over the middle. And then on the right side, you have the standard. It's a flat route. It's a corner route. And then this man's usually running a deep dig in the back of the end zone for a high point read. And so Boogz sees this, sees the window to deliver the in route, gets lit up by, is that Joey Bosa? And, yeah, it was Joey Bosa, and he picks it up. So 1st and goal at the 2 here. Really needs to get in the end zone, and it looks like he does on an HB toss. So after all that, 2 fumbles, and recovering his own 2 fumbles, Boogz ends up cutting it to a 3-point game midway through the 4th quarter here. So Joke up 3 here, midway through the 4th. Really, if he can drive down, score a touchdown, pretty much ices this game away. And this was a huge play in this game right here. Joke had been going to this PA post shot out of this tight flex. This was basically his favorite play all game. And he's got this deep crossing route, post route, and then underneath route. And then this man's actually on a delay flat route, block and release flat. So initially you block 7, then he leaks out to the flat and you block 6. And this was the way he'd been running it. And the way Boogz had been defending it was he was usering right here, and he would user this deep crossing route by Randy Moss. He would drop back and user this because that route is very tough to defend. Basically, the only way you can defend it non-usering is by cross-manning it, and even then it can still sometimes get open. And so Boogz had been just going ahead and taking it into his own hands and using it the entire game. Joke, knowing this, started hitting him underneath a lot with this underneath in route by Chad Johnson. And so Boogz had been having trouble stopping that since he basically couldn't make a user play on it. It was giving him problems. So Joke goes back to it here on 1st and 10. And look at this adjustment by Boogz. So Boogz goes, drops, looks like he's going to follow this route like he had been doing the entire game. But then you can see he already started changing his momentum. He goes, acts like he's going to follow it, and he's going to peel back down onto this shallow crossing route. This works because A, he was using the deep crossing route all game, leaving Joke to think that's what he's going to do again. And then B, this also worked because Joke did not have enough time in the pocket. You can already see the blitz coming in for Boogz. So even if Boogz didn't user this Y route, he has no reason to really user the deep crossing route because even if he leaves it open, Joke's not going to have enough time to let it develop. So super smart play here by Boogz, and it ends up being one of the sickest users, probably the sickest user interception of the entire tournament right here. Picks it off basically while engaged with an offensive lineman, and it puts him right back in the game, 17-14. So insanely clutch play right there from Boogz, and I can't even fault Joke for it. I mean, he'd been killing Boogz with it the entire game. Just Boogz made the perfect adjustment, the perfect user play when he needed it the most. So right here, 1st and 10. All of a sudden, Boogz is probably favored at this point. Down 3, yes, but at the 13-yard line, all the momentum. Trying to run the ball with Tevin Coleman here. Let's see, 2nd and 8, gun bunch to the right. So you got to be thinking, you know, I still don't think you high pointed here. Okay, gun 2 back, probably going to be a power row. Exactly what it was. I'm not a big fan of that play call because a lot of people do go to that gun 2 back, and that's pretty much the only play they run out of that formation. So everybody should know, oh, is gun 2 back? It's probably going to be this power row play. The 3rd and 10 here, I still don't think you go to a high point here. I think try to get a route combo and throw a dot. Something to note right here, if you're Joke, this looks like it could be this vertical wheel route up the sideline, but something you have to notice is this is not Randy Moss. This is Marvin Harrison, which leads me to believe that it's probably not going to be the high point route down the sideline because you don't want to high point the ball to Marvin Harrison. You want to high point the ball to Randy Moss, who is sitting right here. So I would have all my attention on, you know, maybe a seam route by Randy Moss up the middle, or maybe a deep crossing route or something like that. I wouldn't really be worried about a wheel route down the sideline to Marvin Harrison if I'm Joke. And it looks like he played it really well. Rush 3, blitz still got there. Boogz still having a lot of trouble picking up the blitz, and so Boogz kicks 3 to tie it at 17. So Joke now 1 drive. All he needs is 3 points to win the game. Goes with the bench concept, double flat, double corners, throws it exactly. This is why this is tough. Normally, this guy's in a cloud flat, right? Normally, this guy's going to take away the corner route. You're going to have to throw the flat. But because of this flat route, it stretches him so far deep that it allows this guy right here to cut. And normally, the cloud flat is going to cover the corner route, but he's so far stretched to the sideline, he's going to be open. And this is exactly what I was talking about in the Skimbo video. You throw it to whichever one your opponent's not using. Boogz is using the one on the left right here. Joke realizes it, throws it to the right one. And unlucky for him, Ladarius Green, I believe that was, couldn't hold on to the ball. So good read right there by Joke, but kind of unfortunate. Goes right back to bench, runs it the stock way with the out routes, and Ladarius Green does hold on to it. 3rd and 3 goes to the table route, so it looks like he's having success. Boogz not wanting to go hard flats, probably because he doesn't want to get beat deep for one big play down the sideline or something, and have Joke in field goal range automatically. Probably wants to make Joke drive down the field, be patient, and earn it. So let's see, gun bunch to the left here. Looks like he wants to run a bench concept on the left. He does, hits the out route to Jerry Rice. Shoestring tackle, gets 4. So Joke driving down, showing that he's content hitting these flat routes. Boogz so far showing that he's content giving up these flat routes. So we'll see how it develops here. 2nd and 7, 50 seconds clock ticking. Tray open for Joke. Making a lot of hot routes here, screaming off the right edge, almost throws a pick on the backside. So Joke goes over the middle of the field for the first time all drive and almost throws a pick. So you got to think, if you're Boogz right here, that Joke's going to want to keep targeting the sidelines. He might be a little skittish to go over the middle of the field. So I'd be playing very heavily towards the sidelines. Right there, he ran bench again. Pressure gets there. Joke couldn't even throw an out route. So that's one way to combat, you know, Joke running bench every play, you know, just send the house and get to him before he can even have an out route develop. 4th and 7, huge play here for Joke. If he doesn't get this, he pretty much loses the game. Boogz is practically in field goal range. So huge play, goes to gun tight flex. If you're Boogz, I would expect this play right here from Joke. I would expect some variation of the PA post shot with, you know, this in route. This dude's actually normally on a flat route. I would expect some variation of this play. This is the play that Joke's shown to be probably his favorite play, the play he's most comfortable in, and it looks like that's exactly what he's running. And it looks like exactly what happened earlier whenever Joke had the huge play after his interception. Whenever Boogz got caught on the lineman, Boogz gets caught on the lineman again here and ends up not getting back to play that wide deep crossing receiver. And Joke recognizes it, makes him pay again, and that's going to be the game, guys, right there. Boogz getting caught on the lineman in the most important down of the game. not able to get back and user that route like he had been doing the entire game, and Joke identifies it and beats him downfield again. And that's just kind of the story of the game for Boogz right there. He's been playing well, and just on a few downs, just mental lapses, getting caught on a lineman. It's almost unlucky, but it's good by Joke to, quick snap with that in mind. Maybe Boogz is stuck on a lineman. That's why you quick snap. So great play by Joke. Great play making Boogz pay for making those mistakes. Even as few mistakes as Boogz made, he still made him pay when he did make those mistakes. And Boogz gets the ball back. He's got, no timeouts with 10 seconds left, and I'm pretty sure he throws a pick. So that's going to be the game, guys. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like. If you like this kind of content, I will definitely be making more, many more video breakdowns of the games, many more 2-minute breakdowns of specific concepts that are nice and concise. So if you like that kind of content, please do subscribe. It would really mean a lot. And until next time, take it easy.
When you're thinking, damn, what is this? That's us. Make it speakers band when it hits like what? Give it summer jams with that west side stuff. Everybody hands in the air straight up. Put them to the sky so high, now jump. Jay, something crazy when that bassline bump. We just getting started, but that beat gon' cut. We just wanna party, so tonight, so what? Come on, everybody, put the drink down back.